Yo, JD here, to Limitless, and as you can see, we're on F1 2020 as always, and we are at Hungary today. Mainly because we have it in F1 this weekend, so I thought why not actually skip onto this one, because I thought a lot of people would probably be playing it. And as usual, the first lap, not really going to talk about it too much. Second lap, we're going to go into much more detail. But this lap here, I was pretty happy with. Spent a little bit longer in this one than I have on more recent ones, but I actually think this setup could even be improved even more, in fact. But it is extremely good in the race. I used this setup for my social race that I did yesterday. Race pace and qualifying pace was extremely good. The only thing I changed from this setup, instead of using 610 wings, I actually went up on the wings to 710, because I actually think that's a little bit better as we lose the car coming out of this corner. But I actually think if I use 710 wings here on this hot lap, I think I'd be going even faster. But nonetheless, this lap was still pretty good. Really happy as usual, because the lap was actually surprisingly quite understeery and stable, hence why I went up on the wings, because it just feels fantastic online. And then the race trim is probably the best setup that I've done so far. Coming through this last corner, lap apart from that middle sector a little bit was pretty good, most of it. And coming across the line, it is a 12.7, so quite satisfied with that. Currently third at a time. No doubt people will be sweating it and smashing it, but we will be saving that for future videos when I go back to try and claim these world records. But as usual, starting a lap, you want to be focusing on this turn one on the left hand side. You want to be braking about 75 meters out, so about three quarters of the way into the 50 meter board. Quite a late apex. Lose second gear, short shift into third, getting the DRS. Wait before your car's straight before getting the DRS. This corner using all the curb and about in line with the 50 meter board, or be really trail braking quite hard. Stay nice and tight, use all the track, drift out to that curb on the exit and hook your car on the inside to the right, because it really will help. Going up into my favourite corner, pretty much after the black box. A slight dab in 6th gear. Stay in 6th gear and aim for this black box, drift over to that side. Just before then, that's your turning in point. Stay nice and tight again, let drift out on the exit. This one's a little bit of a more simple one. Once you hit the curb, that's where you want to be braking. Make sure you avoid that sausage bump on the inside, but you can go over this one a little bit more. Could have done better on that occasion, but here, looking at that pole just before that goes out of view, that is my turning point. Stay nice and wide entry. Try and carry as much momentum as you can. Going through into this corner as the curb starts, that is your turning in point. And you can see by the brake application, hardly any braking, almost a flat out corner. Actually, in fact, this one just before the curb starts, that's where you want to be braking. Making sure you hook your car on the inside. Cannot stress how important that is. Now going to this one just after the shadow, you want to be doing quite a bit of trail braking. You can see by my throttle application, not maximum brakes, but dabbing on it. Now going on the throttle ever so slightly. And as the car is straight, steering wheel straight, that's when we're going full throttle. And again, looking at this Marshall post, just before that goes out of view, quite an aggressive entry. Actually use the third gear there. Try and get the traction as early as you can. And going across the line, it's a 12.7. And I was quite satisfied with that. And again, these main setups that I'm using here are really designed to just try and be as best as they possibly could, where you could just download it and be good online. And I actually felt I could have done a little bit more front wing on that lap itself, and hence why I changed it for my online race that I did. But you can see here, using 610, lost most of my time in this first sector, because again, I think although straight line speed is important, just having that turn-in you need, but 610 still achieved a very strong lap time. 50.55 off throttle, and I think the only thing I changed as well is I kept it on 50, but I put it to 58% off throttle, just to give me a little bit of more of a lock setup, not as rotation, or not rotating as much. Right, left. I actually find works very well for me. The top setup actually uses quite a bit different for me. It's just a really good compromise. But here, this is where the rotation comes in. The front suspension, the 1.9 front suspension, gives you so much rotation. 7.9 and 2.4 are really my kind of go-to remaining suspension elements at the moment. 150 and minimum tire pressures. Won't be as responsive, but it will just give you the best traction, and in an online race situation will really protect your tyres. So I hope you found that useful today. Hopefully you enjoyed the Grand Prix this weekend. Let me know what more videos you want me to see from myself. Thank you so much, and catch you soon. Peace.